We have KFUM Örebro versus the pickup super team hybrid. Yes, I almost forgot the name for a moment there. We actually have a roster now for hybrid, so we can actually give proper shout-outs. Örebro, we've played too much against. We know them a bit too well.
We don't need a cheat sheet for them. I think that's going to come off the dome piece straight away.
Yeah, but Örebro women's just narrowly missing out on the bronze medal. That was like a bus. And here we see, yeah, the interesting thing about this game, both teams won on Universe in the semi-finals. Both wins coming within seconds of each other. We were standing in the middle of both fields trying to simultaneously watch both games and nearly went cross-eyed trying to see the final points there. But exciting stuff. Hybrid and Örebro have already played in some pool stage, I believe, with Hybrid coming out on top then. So Örebro possibly with something to prove here. Centering to Dean McCurry. Ooh! That did look pretty close. Gustav Robertsson there, he's been tasked with taking the big matchups, and by big I mean big people, throughout this tournament. Now taking CJ Kalikir before taking number 93 on DTS, who we believe is Modestas Galbas. Apologies if that wasn't your name, but both are giant people, and Robertson has been able to get the better of such big guys basically throughout this tournament at various points.
So yeah, even though there was a really good defensive attempt, seems to be some sort of contested call for it to come back. But Robertson getting another D, so
Russia D there.
Yeah. And I can also see that our roster has the right names, but given no, it has been updated. Yeah, I was going to say, given that Hybrid is a pickup team, their kits aren't quite as in sync as Örebro's. So our numbers seem to be wrong, but they have been updated. So we'll learn them as the game goes on. For now, Örebro with a break chance to start the game off.
One thing I've noticed, sort of keeping an eye on Hybrid throughout the tournament, is they tended to start slowly. They had a pretty... Games at points did look pretty scary, as that hammer does not come out at all right. They had a pretty scary pre-quarter or quarter-final against Helsinki, where they were down a couple of points at one point, and then also in the semi-final down something like 4-1 at the beginning, if I remember right. I only came a bit late to that game, but maybe just the nature of them being a pickup team, starting a bit slowly. But they're really feeling themselves. Nice little high release flick, personal favorite throw of mine to Dean McCurry in the end zone. So far, so good for Hybrid, not looking like they're going to start off slowly this time. Coming out pumped.
So it is a hold to start off, although not a clean one. One turn apiece, so not the cleanest of starts. I think hopefully both teams are starting to settle in. Maybe the nerves of the final are getting to them, but I think in just a couple points or two, I think we'll see some very intense plays from both of them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I think Hybrid only have 7 players, while Örebro have 8, so it's a tiny difference in roster size, but I think it does make a small difference, especially on these bigger fields. Yeah. We'll see if that comes into play later in the game.
Yeah, and also just even if it differs just one person apiece, having 2 subs versus 3 subs is still 50% more subs. So yeah, when the rosters are small to begin with, it makes a huge difference.
I enjoyed the quick maths there. Örebro seeming pretty patient so far. Haven't been under too much pressure yet. Slowly working their way up the field. Now they're getting a bit stuck, but always happy just to find a release valve in the handler space. I think the danger players here are going to be Ludwig Bergholm, and Carl Svärd, and then Johan Berén. I think those are the players that are going to open up some spaces when they get the disc or end up... Well, Bergholm, when he's downfield, he's probably going to make some incredible catch, but all 3, when they get the disc, can really open up some interesting spaces.
Yeah. I think those 3 that you mentioned are definitely some of the sort of key cogs in the Örebro offense. On field we also have Oskar Wallén and Micke Salin, who are maybe from time to time more so defensively, sort of positioned in the sort of Örebro squad. But I think given the shorter rosters, everyone has to play every role in a sense.
Ooh.
And then, yeah, Ludwig Berghamn just sneaking through front of the end zone, keeping his feet in bounds and just toe tapping it in.
Yeah, good awareness to make sure he's landing with the foot in the end zone, because his momentum was sort of carrying him out of bounds. I think Örebro also have another advantage that they have 2 other teams here. So they've been known to give quite a big sideline presence in big games. But I think Hybrid, being quite experienced players themselves, should hopefully be no stranger to handling these sorts of environments.
Yeah, definitely Örebro with a sort of home crowd sort of advantage. Maybe not being home in their home city, but in their home country, definitely. So having 2 other Örebro teams, a men's team and a women's team, along with probably a lot of Swedish teams probably rooting for them. I think it's going to be hopefully not too hectic of an audience,
hanging.
but.
Ooh. Oh my God, that is a big boy. Sergio Colicchio owning the skies.
Oh, he's really tiny now. Needs to go down on his knees to show how small they are. Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, he's a big guy, but he's got hops too. What can you do? Maybe not the world's most perfect distance. It was hanging a bit. Got 2 defenders underneath it, but I mean, if you've got a receiver like that, why not? Whew. That was nice. But on defense for Örebro, I was looking forward to seeing this continuation of the Colicchio-Robertson matchup, but also Adam Blomgren, number 71. Extremely explosive player. Been spending most of his time at Hello Stockholm horizontal and about at shoulder height. Just crazy explosive. Örebro sending one deep, dragging a poaching defender with it, giving a nice easy under.
Yeah, Johan Buren there screaming that he's open, carving out some deep space, and then just putting back down. Finally, the open shot to Oskar Wåhlén, calmly collects in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of your standard Örebro offense, swinging it back and forth, staying calm. They have so much chemistry together. They've been playing together for, well, I don't know, some of them have been playing since they were like 15, so close to 10 years now already. With the same coach, the same players, they just a stupid amount of chemistry.
And I feel that also sort of shows. I think both of these scores from the Hybrid side have been fairly hotly contested sort of sky duels, but Örebro more so staying calm and just putting their final looks when it really opens up and just having the sort of say higher percentage finishes.
Yeah, Hybrid perhaps being more athletically dominant and talented in certain spaces and really using that.
Yeah,
and that's a fun matchup. Jakob Tam versus Adam Blomgren. Goes for the hammer. That one's hanging.
So another, yeah, tall order for the receiver, but athletes being athletes. And then a really
that a spin move?
funky spin move there from. That's the one number we don't have updated.
Maybe process of elimination here. More singular? Potentially, who knows? Either way, nice move, great score. Like his kit as well. I would really like to get my hands on both that shirt and those shorts. I mean, that's just, there's a bit of a height mismatch between Adam and Jakob there, but I mean, I've seen Adam get up huge on much taller players, so I wouldn't have counted him out of that matchup. I think he just sort of lost body position there to Jakob. Oh. Oh, that is a nice spin move.
Let's see here, Örebro changing up their O-line a tiny bit. Teams can't really afford to have a set O-line and D-line, so everyone is going to have to be playing both sides. But now incorporating Felix Andersson into their core, probably more so known as a more so defensive specialist, but definitely open to, or at least not afraid of putting up these big looks. But someone else who's not afraid to go for him is Jakob Tam, their number 7 for Hybrid. Just reading it all the way, going up before Örebro has a chance to.
Yeah, maybe not quite the throw that Felix wanted there, or at least didn't turn out the way he wanted exactly. It's kind of stalled and allowed the defender to gain some ground and make a play. But usually Felix is a pretty dangerous person on this O-line. Being left-handed, suddenly you're experiencing hammers and blades when you're not expecting them. Let's see what... ooh, I like that. That was a fancy fake and just a touchy throw up the line, curving around the defender. Sverker with the goal. Long-time Ragnarok player before they decided to go out on top. And the assist there from Michel Rudi. Now, one thing that we can say about Örebro is they are very emotional as a team. I think when they're on top, they're really up there with some of the best in Europe, but they can let their heads drop from time to time, and then they can all sort of crumble. But
yeah, and I think also as well, being an emotional, also being a team that sticks it out throughout the end, so not necessarily sort of teetering off towards the end of because of them getting tired, but rather more so, at least comparing to teams that might do that, then instead sort of shifting up another gear in the second half. So even though they might be down 2 points by now, I would by no means would count them out.
No, they're also emotional selves as a team might be a bit of a downside from time to time, but it also doesn't take a lot to get them back up again. Just one good play or one good throw, and they're basically back up to where they were before. A bit of contact there on the handler space.
Yeah.
Didn't quite catch that the first time round, but I mean, I can understand something happening if you're both going for the same space.
Yeah, seems to be Johan Beren calling it on Dean McCrayer there. Maybe too physical of a defender. He's coming back.
Nice smooth switch there between McCrary and the other player I didn't quite catch.
And Örebro not really quite getting the continuation they need. A lot of players just clumping out in the middle of the field. Robertson now with the disc, down into Bergholm. Finding Byrén.
Good shutdown of that break side by Colicchio. No one isolated in the end zone yet. Robertson taking that space and just the dump and swing.
I think, yeah, sort of using that to their advantage with no one being isolated in the end zone. They have whoever wants to go deep, having the entire area there to work with. And Robertson just waiting for the right moment to strike, waiting for one thing, waiting for the other, catching his defender off guard, and then just exploding into the end zone and getting the open side pass.
Quickly swinging there. The defender's rightly positioned at the beginning when it's on that sideline, that near sideline. As it moves to the far sideline, he's suddenly out of position. Yeah. Not a lot you can do there other than just try and stay head up. And ideally, if you had more teammates, you would have some help from the sideline, but it's a tricky one.
Yeah, it just goes to show the effectiveness of what a swing can do by changing the field. That pull having a lot of its path out of bounds, but finally lands in.
I'm waiting to see the first flick hook from McCurry. He thought about it. There it comes.
Robertson there. Picks it up.
Örebro doing a good job of really stifling all looks from that coffin corner there and just forced to put up a bit of a prayer.
Yeah, I think also they had some players just getting stuck in the throwing lane as well. So not really having the option to swing and not really having the option to just throw it open side either. Just people in the lanes everywhere. So eventually just needing to put it deep and just hope and pray.
Here comes the lefty hammer, surely. Oh. That's what I'm putting my money on, a lefty hammer from Felix to someone.
I would not count that out.
Everyone downfield at the moment. And then I think the
challenging Colicchio's tall space. Not the wisest, but
I love these lefty breaks. I wish I had that throw. That seems a little too far.
Yeah, I think not a bad decision, but just not getting quite the sort of nose angle there to float it out, but instead it's just gaining a bit too much speed and getting away from the receiver.
Yeah. I think one thing that Hybrid has over Örebro is maybe they just have Kalikio, who's just a big guy. Just having one tall guy is just such a release valve a lot of the time, and just having them stay deep. I mean, there's not a lot you can do about that. You can't just grow taller. That is the one thing Örebro may be lacking.
Lefty hammer.
I want it to happen. There we go. Some variant, but not quite far enough.
McCreary just reads it better.
And there's so much space in the end zone now.
I think just feeling a bit stuck there. Putting it out to space, finding Kalikio there.
Two good handler dump defenses in a row there from Örebro on that far side. But Hybrid still able to get it off the sideline and the other side of the field, and now just swinging back and forth. Yeah. Looks like a pick.
I think possibly a push shuffle maybe from Jakob Thom there. Seemed to be a bit too free. I think the sort of stack up there was very sort of static, and just getting that much separation in that short a time surely must have come from a foul.
McCreary trying to get open up line. A shifty little move, but a bit of luck and a bit of skill, I think there.
Getting past the intended receiver, getting past the poaching defender, and then ending up in the Thompson.
In the arms of McCreary. Nice little head spike. Nice move from the guy in the Austrian kit, who I can't see the number of. 83. That's Boris Hinkel. Nice move to get free up line, and a nice poachy defense from Felix there, and just a bit unlucky that hung enough for McCreary to get a hold of.
I think he just realized it just a bit too late. He got his jump off, but his hand's not quite there, so it's just sort of slowly floating above his head. Not really posing a threat to it.
And I've missed what's going on now. Is this a timeout, or is this?
It should be a timeout. Yeah, half time is at 7 for these.
Okay. Oh yeah.
That's 13
a timeout.
11.
Yeah, Örebro just reassessing and trying to group up. I mean, both teams have been able to get turns on each other. It's just the Örebro somehow been miscommunicating.
Yeah. I think there's definitely been more break chances than breaks. We saw one turn apiece at the very first point. I think since then teams have sort of gathered themselves. Still not afraid to throw maybe some lower percentage looks, but still trusting their athletes, just following the play. But Örebro, probably feeling it's not quite heading their way, and them playing at the pace they want to, just taking a quick timeout, regathering themselves, and then ready to receive an offense and punch it in.
I'll be interested to see what Örebro comes out on defense now. Oh no, sorry, excuse me, they're on offense. But on defense, I'm still looking forward to seeing what they can draft up. They've got Jonathan Angergaard as coach here, and he's a crafty guy. That was a big pull. Maybe not the deepest, but lots of hang time. What Örebro have been missing, at least from the games that I've watched before, is Carl Svärd has been launching many more flick hooks in those other games, and now he has some momentum to the break side.
There he goes.
And that's what Örebro really wants.
I'm really starting to feel more and more you're sort of a prophet when it comes to these flick hooks. You're asking from Dean McCreary, he delivers. You're asking from Carl Svärd, he delivers.
Yeah, that's the movement they want. Yeah. Carl Svärd is so annoying to mark. Because Örebro love, if they can play 4v4 downfield, they will love that. Carl Svärd is happy to sit dump and be mega poached, but if you mega poach him, he's going to get the disc with movement to the break side. He's going to throw something, in this case a flick hook. Yeah, you see the defender is just a little bit off him, gets it with the movement to the break side, and and flick hooks are pinpoint.
And it's also these sort of indoor flick hooks with a lot of outside edge, sort of almost being a blade, but in the sort of uncanny valley of just outside flicks, which really works out in these indoor conditions.
Ooh.
And I really sort of...
That is unfortunate. I think a bit unsure if that was going to go out of bounds, and then deciding at the last minute, oh wait, that's going to land in and I should catch that.
And the crowd is reacting to it as well.
Yeah, this is the sort of energy or change of momentum that can build energy for Örebro. And once they get going, they can be pretty hard to stop.
The crowd still cheering for the defense. Maybe not. Örebro doesn't have quite the sort of home field advantage that maybe someone might expect. I think it's also the crowd just wanting the dropped ball to come back.
Estonian teams, I see them across the field. Jakob Tam with his support from his countrymen. But I have to say, a hybrid really, from the front of the end zone, have forced Örebro back, doing a little bit of poaching here. They seem to be aware of how to stop them. Even if they're a pickup team, they're working well together.
Yeah. Örebro has just been sort of worked back from the near sideline of the end zone. Slowly working it back up together, showing the hammer, getting it, and then
just squeezing it up the line.
A double cut there towards the space. Some people might see it as a bad option. Örebro might see it as two options, and just decides to put it.
Yeah, as hybrid, I don't think they can be too angry here. They really held off Örebro for a long time, right at the front of the end zone. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, there's only so long you can hold out. But impressive stuff to do it as long as they did.
Yeah. Seeming the timeout might have worked. No, maybe that was last point. But Örebro at least finding their sort of mojo, getting back in this again, using that dropped pull to their advantage, and have tied up the game. So they're probably hoping to carry this momentum all the way up until half, regather themselves, and then come out even stronger after that. Hybrid fielding the pull, McCreary showing the flick, finding CG Colicchio. Going once, going twice, decides to swing it. Falling to Tam.
Patient offense so far. Seeming to get fairly open undercuts.
Yeah.
And dumps at will. Let's see, and Adam Blomgren goes flying. Told you he tends to spend most of his time horizontal.
Ooh, and a really nifty sort of low release there. Just seeing that.
Miscommunication for half a second, and they punish it immediately.
Number 31 there, Mikael Rudi, just being more open than he should be, and then not needing to put up a sort of bladey throw, but can just sit it out there as with a floaty throw instead for him to run onto.
So by process of elimination, I'm fairly sure that the guy in the rhino kit is Pierrick, and then a surname that looks so French, I don't want to try and pronounce it for fear of causing a diplomatic incident. But yeah, I'm fairly sure that's Pierrick. Oh yeah, you already corrected that, didn't you? Ah, it's me that can't read.
Process of elimination.
Or just learning to read would have solved that entire kerfuffle. Is that going to stay in bounds? Oh.
It is not. And but then maybe, I think from now on also very cognizant of not wanting to catch and or drop the pull when it does land solo from that incident that Hybrid had just a couple of points ago. I think just very satisfied with just letting it drop and then breaking it.
There is a foul on, I'm not sure offensive or defensive, but a call. Looked uncontested. Now it's just a question of where the disc should be, because I didn't quite catch when it happened, but it looks like it might have been a while ago.
Yeah. Safest thing is to just return it to where you last agreed you seem to be, back with Karlsvad. And as you mentioned, just the other four Örebro players just staying upfield, letting him do his thing.
shifty little upline cut there. Striker desperate to stop the hammer. And Barry Holm burning up the line, doesn't get it. But there's a lot of, ooh, as I was about to say, a lot of isolation in that end zone. Just gets free up the line. Didn't quite see the move, but let's see this here. Oh yeah, that little curl cut in the handler spaces.
And then some fancy footwork to keep it in as well.
Yeah, I have fallen for that cut too many times. Just like, oh, he's going dump, and then you turn and he just accelerates upline instead. Yeah, it's so tough to put your body in that space before he does that as well. It's a tough one.
So this should be a point to take half. Whoever scores now will send us to half. Players will get a short break, and then I'm not sure who is starting on offense afterwards.
I have already forgotten.
But it will be
Galaxy point. Oh, it says so on screen. It's a thing
team
now, officially.
It's written in the book.
Some excellent pulls so far this game. Isolation deep, sends it to the big guy.
Ooh, who gets the better of Barry Holm there. Maybe a few gather steps there afterwards. Not really seemed to be an issue. And then motioning.
Yeah, that's just a big grab. He was completely isolated downfield, 4 people behind the disc, and just CJ flicker upfield, and you could almost, I mean, if you just took a screenshot of that situation in game, I think most people would have been like, yeah, they're gonna huck it.
Yeah. So that will send us to half. Hybrid taking the first half, not by a lot, just by 1 point. So it is a game to be decided by.
And I think it's still even on breaks, so not a lot in it. We've already forgotten, of course, of who pulled, but tight game nonetheless. Yeah. Will be an exciting one, surely, in the second half.
Dean McCreary there on the sideline, keeping possession of the disc, so not impossible that it will be hybrid and pulling, meaning Örebro is on offense and that we are still on serve.
Right, we'll be right back after the commercial for the second half of Hybrid Örebro.
See you then.
I don't know about you, but when I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to be hearing the Tokay music in my head.
Jingle.
The jingle. When I close my eyes, that's all I'm going to be able to hear. And then just in the background, go, Britt, go! And the massive layout.
Come on, Britt.
It's a good commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it does look like, yes, Hybrid starting out on D. Örebro on offense. It'll be interesting to see if any team changes anything significantly. I feel like both teams can be kind of happy with how things are going. It's just coming down to small mistakes.
Yeah. It's been an offensively dominated game, but there's not been sort of shutouts. It's been very few points that have been sort of 1, 2, 3 throws. It's been a lot of dump swing action, and then eventually finding the spot to put it, sometimes more hotly contested than otherwise. But a really nice pull there. Defense getting set immediately. Fielded by Johan Birén, swinging it around and then ends up back in his hands.
Some switching downfield by Hybrid. Always impressive. Oh, no. Uncontested.
I could not tell, yeah. But
my first reaction is that might have been clean, but apparently not.
I didn't even see who caught the disc.
Hybrid really switching like crazy here. Impressive stuff. And oh, paying off.
I think they did there. I think Moritz Hinkel.
Yeah, sneaking in. I think from this angle you could really see that he committed that early. Is that too high? Oh my God.
And I think he even kept his foot in.
Yeah, Jakob Tam. I was about 90% sure that was too high. He almost caught it behind his head with just his fingertips. Now that is a big momentum shift. Yeah, you see how, even though that clip starts not the earliest, you see how early he commits to that poach. Yeah, basically at the same time as the defender, as the offensive player cutting under. Impressive stuff. And of course the other benefit of having a big guy is he can just throw over the top of people. Why not? Yeah, sick grab and then super impressive to keep his feet in there. How do Örebro respond to this? Because defensively, Hybrid seem to have found the secret sauce, secret formula. Just smart heads-up switching and athletic people. But Örebro hasn't quite found a way to... Oh, that's just such a nice replay. Örebro hasn't quite found a way to deal with yet. And these pulls are not helping Örebro at all.
So they're getting a new look, not quite getting a lot of continuation cuts, but getting the resets they want, finding the spots, finding the areas.
I'm expecting Adam Blomgren at this point to really take over. This is my bet. I want to continue my future. Oh. Yes, yep. My future prediction skills are still working. Last throw was a little short, but still worked out.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of the commentator's curse, but I feel you have sort of the commentator's blessing instead, just calling things into reality just by sheer will.
Yeah, most people, I think, when they see Adam, he is, hopefully it's okay for me to say this, not the tallest person in the world. So you tend to think, oh, I can just stay under, and I feel pretty good getting him deep. That is a huge mistake. He's not only incredibly quickly and incredible at these like jab cuts under and then deep, he can jump super high. It's really quite shocking. So you actually, in my opinion, want to push him under as much as possible. No matter if you are a head taller even. I may or may not be speaking from painful first-hand experience.
Seeming to get a little bit stuck there, but finding the option out there. Showing the deep puck.
Good poach off attempt.
Off. Be some switching going on there by Örebro. Now settled into man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, you can almost feel the like sigh of relief as they got out of their own end zone. Like, oh, now we can calm down a little bit. Some just hard side-to-side skater jumps there from Pierrick to try and get free. Finally gets an under, and ooh, Micke Salin very close to getting that hand block on the dump. A little bit of lack of movement here from Hybrid, as maybe the legs are starting to build up some lactic acid at this point in the game. Goes over the top to the big guy. Why not? CJ Kalikio once again. I mean, a good effort there from Örebro, really, especially from that pull, pinning them there, causing Hybrid to kind of swing it back and forth, and Hybrid after a while looking tired. So I think Örebro can be pretty pleased with that defensive point. It's just the release valves of Kalikio is a tough one to stop.
Yeah, there seems to be some sort of discussion between at least one of the Örebro players and one of the Hybrid players about maybe not being quite comfortable with the amount of physical contact. So I think good for them to sort of talk this out now and find a level which they are both comfortable with, so they can continue this game out in a fashion they're both satisfied with.
And I've been so focused on this game that I haven't actually noticed. It's only 1 minute remaining. So it's really turning into crunch time now. And that pull basically could not be more perfect. Good force stopping the around. Still not out of their own end zone now. Finally, Karlsvad goes for a deep cut, but it does open up some space on the under. Brian really grinding once this point. He's been working tirelessly up and down the field.
Getting some power positions, but not quite being able to time it with the rest of the cutting core. Showing the hammer, opting for the swing. Nothing developing really. Needing to put it up there.
Close to the sideline. Scary. Good movement there. Now they get some momentum. Some isolation in the end zone. Yeah.
And then a nice cut there from number 70, Barry Holm there, to sort of getting Robertson defender sort of caught up, wanting to...
Yeah, just a slight shift in Sverker's momentum, just to thinking about trying to poach there was enough.
Really just helpful cutting for his teammate there.
So a small discussion here about when the buzzer went, whether we play this point, add 1, or it's +1 already now. Not entirely sure what they have decided. We shall see.
And then, no, there's not been a timeout. It's just Örebro using their very large coaching staff to draw up something major.
Interested to see what they come out with here. I feel like it might be some backhand force. The hammers to Kalicki are maybe too big an outlet for hybrid. Backhand might be an easier, or make it less likely for that to happen. Here we go, Moritz busting deep, but that huck is hanging with the wrong edge, unfortunately. Good cut there from Moritz.
Örebro sideline going crazy for that one. Maybe not the sort of really athletic defensive play that they wanted. Örebro defenders definitely still there though to make sure that this keeps sailing out of bounds with no shot of coming back in. So it did come out a bit from the end zone. So Bergholm there, getting his steps.
All right, I think Adam Blomgren again is going to be looked for in the end zone.
Getting the under first. Let's see if he maybe gets this off and then busts deep.
This does look like a bit of a power line from Örebro now that I think about it, because they have had struggles before converting the defensive offense possessions against hybrid. Patient so far, but also not gaining a lot of meters. Here's that plant and go from Adam, but doesn't want it.
I think Örebro is probably not wanting to put very sort of low percentage looks there, just being
that's the backhand
satisfied with these very high percentage looks there. Bergholm just striking deep, getting separation. Felix realizing that and just takes a pivot out, getting just a really solid backhand there. Nice curve, nice timing.
I think they were forcing righty backhand, so I don't know if Moritz was expecting it from that side. You see he was kind of to the left of Bergholm as he's going deep, and he even started to run more left as when he heard the up call, so I think it was just the swing and the mark wasn't on the thrower quick enough and let a break side huck go, and yeah, it's difficult to stop Ludwig going deep at the best of times. Doesn't help when it's break side. Örebro taking a timeout now, and surely it must be game to 10 now, regardless.
I'm not sure. I heard the scorekeepers yelling out something just after that point. Not sure if it was time running out and we don't know if it's going to be a game to 11 or if it's going to be a game to 10. It is Universe. It is Universe.
Okay.
So
stressful times for both teams.
Using their timeout while they have them. No point in letting them go to waste. So rest up your players, put out a power line, and
power line in this case: Adam Blomgren, Gustav Robertson, Ludwig Bergholm, Micke Selin, and Felix Andersson. We're not 100% sure about Universe Point, but we're going to treat it like it is because it's exciting. A line from Hybrid, Jakob Tam, CJ Kalikio, Sverker, Dean McCreary, and Michal Rudy. Here we go. For the gold medal for all the marbles at Hello Stockholm. So much adrenaline rushing through their system that they pull it very out of bounds.
See, at least it gives Örebro time to sort of set up, see what offensive set Hybrid has planned.
CJ takes off deep.
Odds are Kalikio going deep. Instead, finds Tom heading under. Kalikio.
Pretty steady movement upfield so far. Now finally slowing down a little bit. Scuba, that looks good. Ooh.
What a block from Adam Blomgren.
Yeah, I told you that boy is springy. Ooh, I was so... the reactions from Stenungsund in the background, that's a good one.
That is,
yeah, I thought that scuba was perfect from when he released it.
Yeah. It is just what Örebro needed. If they can just punch this in now without getting stuck. Looking for nothing major. Finding Blomgren.
Yeah, can they handle their adrenaline?
Needing
so far, staying calm.
Finding a reset. Not wanting to put it deep. Finding Blomgren once more.
Yeah, finds the poach player. Good switching, though, to recover.
I think now wanting to sort of gain a couple extra meters.
Ooh.
Finding a centering pass.
Michal wants it back.
Slippers there from Andersson.
McCreary tries to poach, and that could be it. Ooh. Örebro comes back, takes it. Gold medal, Hello Stockholm 2024. Really, first Hello Stockholm we've had in 5 years. Örebro wins it.
Örebro showing that why they are one of the Swedish top teams and one of the European top teams as well. Felix Andersson there, getting a bit sort of, I wouldn't say cocky, but very sort of hyped out about feeling how free it is, showing the wings, but a confident clap catch, sending Örebro with I think their first lead of the game.
Yeah, you might be right. Actually.
Being the one that counts the most. There you have it. Örebro are your 2024 Hello Stockholm Open Division champions. And with that, we will be heading over to the women's final between Salaspils and Hotshots. Joining us there will be two new commentators. Our favorite set of Eklund sisters, Sara and Sofia. So I think we will head out and they will take over shortly. Thank you for joining us and see you in the next game.
See you next game.